Okay, are we having a shir today? Let me ask Joanne. Not sure. I think we're having a shir today. Well, I'm going to teach anyway, even if nobody comes, because we have people on YouTube, and it's Thursday, and we have to learn some Tehillim. So yeah, Sharon, I see that I hear what you're saying about Australia. Listen, anti-Semitism is going to happen whether they make gun laws or not, whether they make, whether they make. Anti-Semitism has nothing to do with laws. It has everything to do with Hashem reminding us that we have to stay separate and that we have a job to do in this world, and that is to bring goodness and holiness into this world. Shala and Shoshana, who are on the Zoom, is there any reason why no one else is on the Zoom? Did I hit the wrong link? It seems that the Zoom was working.
Maybe people are away. I don't know.
Is this a vacation in the UK for you guys? Oh yeah, I guess it's a vacation.
Yes, it's the 24th. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Not sure where. And how's Rebbe Dov doing, and how's her mother? Anybody know? Nobody knows? Okay. Okay, well, let's learn some Tehillim. I'm going to be continuing. We're in Perek Chet in Tehillim, chapter 8, and we're in Pasuk. Let's see. Did I do with you? Is that where we're at? Yeah, Lagitis, right. Okay. Marcel, what's going on? How come no one's on the Zoom?
Do you know something? She didn't put out a thing, number one. Number two, yesterday, I've just rushed, did all my shopping so I could rush back. And yesterday, she seemingly was in transit and she wasn't in the 9 o'clock thing that we do every day, the Mizmor Soda. So I don't know. And I didn't check my phone. She's not put the share on. She hasn't put it on.
Okay, we'll learn anyway.
Yeah, hang on. Just 1 second. I'm going to give her a call. Oh, an audience with Robertson. So what could be better? Just let me mute myself.
You don't have to call her. I just texted her. She didn't respond, and she's online. So is her mother okay? Is she here in Eretz Israel, or is she in the UK? You don't know. No idea. Okay. Let's learn anyway. I guess she didn't tell people that there's a shir today. That's okay. We could learn Tehillim no matter what, right?
Tehillim exactly. I'm so glad I wrote that for you. Just a sec, got my Tehillim out. Got my Tehillim out. And the Shira Tamal that we were, Shoshana Devara, she's in rehab now, so that's sort of a good sign.
Who's
So, good sign.
Who is in rehab?
And my son-in-law's sister, who we've been davening for, Shira Tamal by Shoshana Devara, she's in a rehab place in Tel Aviv, I think, or somewhere. So that's a good sign. Right, I'm going to mute myself. And we'll wait to hear what Joanne says. And it's a shame, there's a good few people that would have been in the share. They would have all been in the share, but they clearly don't think there's one.
So why don't you just post it on that on the group that you're in? Why don't you just post it as a share?
I'm not in a group. I'm not in that kind of a group. We'll start, and I'll just tell everyone. I'll try and get to as many as I can.
Okay. Anyway, I like these psukim, because I'm doing them right now. It says, Kireh Shamecha. When I look at the sky, so we're in Perek Chet, Pasuk Dalet. Kireh, so David Melech is talking to Hashem in one of the many, many chapters of Tehillim that he praises Hashem, that he praises the way Hashem made the world. And he says, when I look at the sky, Kireh Shamecha, when I look at the sky, Maaseh Tzibrotecha, when I look at the work, the things that you do, Hashem, the work of your fingers, so to speak. Yarech, the Kochavim, the sun, the moon, and the stars, Asher Kronanta, that you set up. And when I look at all of that, and I see how brilliant it is, and how genius it is, and how perfectly set up, and how nothing crashes into anything else, then we say, Ma enosh ki tizkerenu, what are we? Why do you pay so much attention to people? Ma enosh, what's humanity? Ki tizkerenu, that you think about us. Uven adam ki tifkedenu. And what is it, people? Why are you mindful? Why do you pay attention to people, Hashem? You're so great that you're able to make a sky. And this sky, right now, I'm looking at the blue sky of Yerushalayim Yer HaKodesh. Now today's a very nice day. It's a comfortable day. It's not a heavy winter day. And they're saying that starting tomorrow, it's going to be Friday, Shabbos, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, stormy, stormy, stormy. We had storms. I don't know if you remember. We had a week ago. We had crazy storms. They actually gave it a name. You know, Israelis are not into that, giving names of storms, but for some reason they gave that storm a name. I think it was called Byron. I don't know where they got that name from. It's such a crazy thing, but whatever. There was a storm in the Middle East, and it dumped a lot of rain on Eretz, and Hashem used it to dump a lot of rain on Eretz Israel, and we're happy for that. Except that there was lots and lots of flooding, because it was a kind of a rain that wasn't like slow and steady. It was pouring, and so there were a lot of our infrastructure, our streets here, our sewers are not built to absorb so much rain so quickly. So there were cars floating around, and Israelis are funny. Like some of them, just photographed and videoed, and some of them were screaming and yelling, and some of them went out and were paddling around on all kinds of, garbage can covers just to have fun. Anyway, but the truth is, I'm looking at the sky now, and because the sun is shining, so we don't see the thousands and thousands of stars that are here, that are up on the up there. And in the nighttime, sometimes you do see thousands of stars, but only if you're in an area of no pollution. And sadly, even here in our beautiful holy Yerushalayim, we don't see, on a clear night, you can see stars, but you don't see all the thousands and thousands of stars that you see when you're, let's say, in the desert, and it's clear. In the desert, when it's clear, you can look up and you see literally a whole show of what Hashem has. He displays, it's a huge display of everything. 2 weeks ago, I was in Rishon LeZion, and all of a sudden, I thought I saw a firecracker in the sky. And my friend said, no, that was a falling star. And I didn't really believe her, because I don't think I ever in my whole life saw a falling star. And she said, then in the Merkaz area of Israel, she sees them all the time. I don't, you have to make a bracha if you see a falling star. a falling star. The same that you make when you see lightning. I just saw some kid was shooting off firecrackers. So when we look at the sky and we see what's going on in the sky, and then we see what's going on just even, anywhere, and paying attention, then we have to be in awe of God. Our problem is two things. Our problem is that number one, we don't pay attention. And number two, even the things that we pay attention to, we think that they're so normal, we're so used to them that we don't look at them as miracles. And so this idea of the humility of mankind, what in the world do we think we are? We're so full of pride, and we're so full of arrogance that we think we're something. In the truth of things, we're nothing, and we can't. None of us can make a sky. Not even the richest person in the world can't make life, cannot extend life. The people who are the most manipulative and the most corrupt and that goes along with oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes it goes along with being wealthy, very, very wealthy. Those people can't do what Hashem does. So why do we think we're something? That's number one. And number two, why does Hashem even pay attention to us if He's so huge and He's so powerful? What does He need us for? Right? And that's the total chesed that Hashem does for us. The chesed, the kindness that God does for us, is that as much as we are nothing, He invests in us and He says, yes, you're something. Not only are you something, but you're everything. And not only are you something and everything, but I love you on top of everything. And I have patience for you. So that's the greatness of Hashem when we look at His greatness and our minuteness and nothingness, and then we recognize that he is not only awesome but loves us and gave us the Torah and everything. So we say Ma'anosh Kitis Gerenim, right? So there was the tzaddikim say, and the Bali Musar say, that in olden times they would give people like a piece of advice, and they would say you have to have two. We have two sides of us, so you have to write yourself two notes and put each note in one of your pockets. And one note is Bishvili nivra ha'olam. The world was created for me. Bishvili nivra ha'olam. The world was created for me, which means each one of us has a responsibility to try to fix the world. Because if the world is created for me, then I should try to fix it. I should try to improve it. And on the other hand, we have this pasuk of Ma'anosh Kitis Gerenim. What are people? What is humanity that you should pay attention? You should be mindful of us, Hashem. Why in the world do you even care? I don't care about the ant that's crawling on the floor here. There's no ant, but I'm just the idea. I wouldn't care about that. And I told you, we learned last week that the commonality between a human and an ant, we're more similar and have more commonality than between us and Hashem. Between us and Hashem, there's, except for the fact that we have that of our neshama, but in terms of what we are, we're physical. Hashem is not at all. Hashem is something else that we can't even describe. So and yet there's Hashem adores us and loves us and takes care of us and is in our life. He doesn't set us into automatic. You know that there is a concept in Chassidut and Kabbalah that talks about something that we're a little bit, we have a hard time with. We have a hard time like understanding, and that is, there's really no such thing as nature. Even though Hashem repeats the same thing trillions and trillions and trillions of times. Let's say, for example, our breathing, our breath. You breathe in, you breathe out. You don't pay attention. Right now when I'm talking, when I'm speaking, I'm not paying attention to my breath. And I'm breathing. So you say, yeah, that's because your lungs and your diaphragm and the way God created the world and oxygen and that whole, and in Hasidus and Kabbalah we're taught, no, it's not like that at all. It's because Every split second, Hashem is willing me to breathe. Hashem breathes into me, and then he pulls out the air. Then he breathes into me and to you and to 8 billion people on planet Earth and to who knows how many animals and insects. And so that concept is too mind-blowing for us. It's very, very hard to comprehend that. But nowadays it's a little bit easier. I'll tell you why. Because now that we have the internet, and now that we have AI, and we have all of the things that are in planet Earth right now that we have all of these things, so we can understand how much we don't understand, but that it exists. For example, every piece of information that known to mankind is available now to every person through the internet, through the AI, through the everything. Now, where is it? I always love to ask my students this question, the ones who are technology. I always ask them, like, where is this information? It's on my computer, it's on your computer, it's on your phone, it's on your iPad, it's on your device. Where is it? Somebody typed it in, somebody scanned it in, and then where did it go? My computer doesn't get fatter and fatter the more information it gets. Where is that? So they'll talk about servers and clouds, and nobody really knows what that is. But it exists, and that's how our world. That's how we live right now. That's why I'm speaking to the UK, and I'm speaking to Ramat Beit Shemesh, and I'm talking to now to Australia, and we usually have United States on. So how can that be? And again, 100 years ago, no one had any idea that this could take place, and now they're saying, I forgot the exact proportion, but they're saying that how information used to double, like once every, I forgot how much time. Now information doubles once every split second. Maybe information hundreds multiplied by 100 every split second. I don't know. It's huge numbers now of information that's coming into the world, and that's someplace. Where is it? It's someplace, and I can access it. There's this huge library called the internet, and I can access everything. Now, does your mind comprehend that? No. But do we use it? Yes. Do we see the results of it? Yes. And so on a certain level, we understand the greatness of Hashem. We know that we don't understand him, but we can describe him. We can utilize him, so to speak, and approach him, and he loves us. And you made humanity just a little bit less than the angels. Now you see that this word is not God. This word doesn't mean God. It means the powerful people in this world. Some translate it as angels, some translate it as powerful people, rich people. Judges are oftentimes called Elohim. So it's not that word is not inherently God. It also sometimes means God, and Hashem has allowed that word to be used. He shares that word with powerful people. So you made mankind just a little bit less than, here it means angels. And you made mankind, you crowned him, and atara is a crown. You crowned him with honor and with dignity, with power, with glory. Hadar is like glory. So David HaMelech is saying here something so beautiful. And remember that we learned that this particular parak was said in the city of Gat. Now I'm going to tell you something about the city of Gat. There were 5 cities that were problematic for the Jewish people. And they were the 5 Plishti cities, and Gat was one of them. Ashdod, Ashkelon, Aza. These were all Plishti cities, and Gat was one of them. Nowadays, the way that we call the city of Gat, we call it Kiryat Gat. That's the name of the city of Gat, the biblical city of Gat. And David HaMelech, the fact that he played on a musical instrument called the Gitit, which was created in Gat, the city of Kiryat Gat, which was associated with it, on a certain level, he's trying to overcome the inhabitants of that city called the Plishtim. So you know that the Lubavitch Rebbe, I don't know if it was the last one or the one before, they used to sing, and they still do, one of the prayers that they say on Shabbos called Aderet Va'emuna L'chai Olamim. That song, I don't know if you sing it, if you daven Ashkenaz, you don't, but if you daven Sephardi, sometimes do. So that praise of Hashem, that song of praise to Hashem, they sing it, Chabad sings it for the first few verses in the tune of the French national anthem. Now, I'm not going to sing it here because I'm not going to sing in public, but you know how the French national anthem goes? If you don't know it, then just ask Google to play it for you. And then you set it to the words, they sang it to that. And the first time that the Lubavitch Rebbe did it, and I forgot which Rebbe it was who did that, maybe it was all the way back, I forgot who began singing it. It was because he wanted to conquer France. And when you can conquer it, and so in Kabbalah we're taught that there's many different ways of conquering a country. It does not have to do it has nothing to do with weapons. Because in order to conquer a country, you know your angel in heaven, the country that you're representing, which is it's Hashem, is representing the Jewish people, and our angel is called Michael in heaven. That our angel has to overpower the angel of the country you're trying to conquer. It's not about guns and stuff like that. And so the Rebbe wanted to somehow overpower the negative energy of France. So he took their national anthem and he began to sing it as a melody of one of the tefillot on Shabbos, and we also sing it on Simchas Torah, and in that way to conquer them on a certain level. They did that with certain Russian melodies also. And so the idea that different energies exist in this world, we're not aware of them, but sometimes you can learn about them, different energies. So, you made mankind, that mean really he's talking about the Jewish people. You made us just a little bit less than angels. Now, in Hasidus, we're taught that really the soul of a Jew is higher than the soul of an angel. The soul of a Jew is higher than the soul of an angel and has more power than an angel. Now, we don't have physical power more than an angel because an angel has physical power. But the soul of a Jew has the power, higher power, and is have a higher source spiritually than angels. Angels Hashem gave them. It's like you have a sumo wrestler. A sumo wrestler, he might be not very intelligent, but he can beat you up. He's strong, muscular, right? So the angels are strong and muscular. They have all kinds of powers that were given. They were given by Hashem. They were given by Hashem all kinds of powers to accomplish different things that they're supposed to accomplish. Shoshana, you have to mute your phone. But the soul of a Jew is stronger, higher, more sublime than the soul of an angel. And this is something that we have to pay attention to also. I don't know who's talking on the share, but it says on my phone it's Shoshana Edelstein, so I don't know who that is, but whoever that is has to try to mute her phone. What does it mean? What does it mean? So one of the things that planet Earth suffers from a lot is a lot of interaction, people with each other. Now you say, why is that suffering? You know, that's how we live here. And you need you have to support to support a family. You have to have, not everybody could be a grocer and a fishmonger and a butcher and a whatever. Everybody has to do their thing. So let's see if I can mute her.
No, Shoshana, could you mute yourself, please? Thank you so much.
We don't know who that is. Okay, we don't know who that. Oh, 1 second. Okay, anyway. We don't know how that worked, but whatever happened there. It's somebody else is on the phone, it's not her. Anyway, whatever, we'll be patient. So what does mean kavod? What does mean hazar? So most people in this world are denied kavod. They are, I don't know how to mute her. You know how to, is anybody, we don't know how to do that. Because nobody's really hosting this. So we can't mute her. Let's see. It sounds like not even English. I don't even know what language that is. Did I send that to her? Okay. Anyway, in Mitzrayim, what was the problem in Mitzrayim? In Mitzrayim, men were given work that women's jobs, and women were given men's jobs. And so, how in the world did that happen? I don't know how to do any of that stuff that you're saying. I just tried to message her, but she didn't respond. And that takes away a person's dignity. Dignity is called kavod. Now, I'm going to tell you that in Tehillim, the kavod is also called the soul. They're obviously on the phone and they're not paying attention. So what can we do? And we don't have anybody who's the host of this share, and so we can't cut them. Be quiet. So I'll just try to talk louder, and maybe that will help. And I'll hold it here to my phone. Let's see. Does anybody know who that person is that they could call them even? Let's see. Somebody's. She couldn't get on Zoom. I'm trying to. Yesterday was long off and long on again, unless it's a host who can mute all. I couldn't get on Zoom this morning, so can't help. I don't know who this is. Somebody just sent me a thing. This is, I don't know who this is. Shulamit. Oh, Shulamit couldn't get on now? Okay, so here's what we're going to do.
I've texted everyone I know who couldn't join, but Shoshana needs to.
Right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to close the meeting, and then and everybody's going to sign on again. But I'm going to close it, and then you all sign on again. And she's not going to hear this because they're on the phone and they won't. Okay. So everybody hang up, and sign up again. Now we have to do that. Sorry, people on YouTube. We had a little technical difficulty on Zoom. Let's see.
Recording in progress.
How's he still in the meeting? That's so crazy. That's so funny. They're still on the meeting. I don't know. We couldn't get them off. Okay, whatever. Hashem is making a joke of us. Quiet. Okay. I don't even know what language he's speaking. It's not even English. Something else. Does anybody even know who that is? No. And Marcel isn't even on the meeting. Nobody could get on. Oh, I know what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to close the meeting. Oh, but I don't know how to close the meeting. Okay, I'm just going to keep talking. We'll learn. So kavod. Kavod means the soul. Kavod also means honor. And the tzaddikim say like this: when a person has good self-esteem, when a person has good maybe you should all go on YouTube. Oh, but I know she doesn't like to go on YouTube. When a person has good self-esteem, they have self-worth, they have kavod. When a person has kavod, yeah, they still stayed on. They didn't even get off the meeting. They stayed on. Okay, what can you do? When I got on, they were the only ones on the meeting. They didn't get off. Do you know who that is even, Marcel? Is it somebody from our Chevra? I don't even know who it is on this meeting. I don't know.
At least we don't understand it. It sounds like the radio.
Oh, really?
Do you know how to make me a
Oh,
host?
dear.
Because if you make me a host, I could mute them.
No,
Oh,
nobody's host. We don't know how to make
Nobody's
anybody host.
we're in free fall.
Because this is not supposed to even...
If you look in the top right corner of their picture, there's 3 blue dots. If you click on the 3 blue dots, you'll be able to mute them from there.
Okay, let's see. There is none because I'm not the host. There's no 3 dots.
Really?
Yeah, 1 second. Claim as host. 1 second. Claim host role. We really have to. 1 second. Let's see. Did I disconnect them? No, I disconnected myself. Okay. Let's see if I can claim host. But I just don't know you have to let me know what the number is. Anybody know what the number is to claim host on this thing? Marcel, you don't know?
No, sorry.
Okay, I have to ask Joanne what the number is. Yeah.
Nah.
Anyway.
She must have an emergency. I really think she has an emergency because yesterday she didn't come on the Ms. Morla Toda, and today I missed it because I went running around, so I'll be here for the meeting for us. So, oh, goodness gracious.
Wow. I hope her mom is okay. Is she in America or is she in the UK or is
Good
she?
job we don't understand it. Okay?
Is she in the UK or is she
I don't know. It's not English.
No, is Joanne in the UK?
Joanne, yesterday Daddy said she's in transit and she's not answered and she is online, and so I
The truth is that she did send me a voice note just now, but I can't answer it because I'm on learning.
Oh.
Okay, but let's go back for 1 second. Let's just go back to the pasuk and talk about kavod. Kavod means honor. Kavod means honor, and kavod also means the soul in Tehillim. And so there's 2 messages here. There are many messages, probably infinite, but the 2 messages I want to talk about is number 1, when a person wants kavod, they need to feel that they're respectable. They need to feel that there are a certain level of there's a certain level of honor that they have, and they need that because they need to get out in the world. Let's say a person doesn't have confidence. The person doesn't have confidence, then they can't accomplish anything. So a certain level, you need confidence. That's number 1. But number 2, you need to know where your confidence is coming from. Where's your confidence coming from? So Chazal tell us, and this is something that we learned with Rabbi Itamar Schwartz when he wrote his book, all of his books on the soul and on the understanding of the soul, the personality. One of the things that he brought out was very interesting to me, in that he said that, and also Rav Yitzchak Ginsburg talks about this. He said in modern psychology, if you go to a therapist in modern psychology, so what does the therapist talks about? She asks you, what do you feel? What do you want out of this session? How do you need to fix yourself? You're the center of the session. Whereas if you go to a Torah psychologist, he'll say to you, what does Hashem want from you? What can you give to the Jews? What can you give other people? Not what you, but Hashem is the center of the session. And so on a certain level, all kavod belongs to God. And humans do not, kavod was created, Hashem created kavod for himself, that Hashem should have kavod, not that people should usurp and should take kavod. And so when it says kavod, and so in Tehillim, when the word kavod, which means honor, also means the soul, it means that the only thing that we can hold on to is the fact that we have a Jewish soul. That should be the source of our confidence, is that I'm a Jew and my essence is a Jewish soul, and that can never be taken away from me. That can never be changed. That's the essence of kavod, the real kavod that's what gives me the opportunity and the possibility of praising Hashem and of interacting with Hashem through the Torah mitzvah. That's called kavod. Tamshileu, you gave human beings and you gave the Jewish people Memshala. Memshala means to be the king, to be in charge, to be dominion, to have dominion. You gave mankind. Can you hear me? Just nod, Marcel. Can you hear me? Yeah. You gave mankind, and particularly the Jewish people, the ability to rule over the physical world. Everything that you created, Hashem, you put under the feet of the Jewish people. What does that mean? It means, number one, that when we do Torah Mitzvah, it means that we literally transform the world, and we transform the universe, we transform reality. And number two, even on the bottom of our feet, meaning the most practical, the most mundane, the most down to earth actions of a Jew, if we say L'Shem Shamayim, and we try to do it L'Shem Shamayim, then we have power over the entire universe. And I told you the story many times. I told you the story of a Native American Indian healer who saw someone making a bracha over water, and he said, "You transformed the water," because he sees energies, and he said that's what the bracha did, and that's what Hashem gave us the power of by Shomer Torah Mitzvah. And the opposite is sadly and scary true, and that is we can destroy just like we can create. We can destroy by doing the wrong things. So all these words, soneh is like son. I'm saying the pshat here, and alafim or aluf, and aluf are bulls and cattle. All the cattle and sheep, all the animals, the gam b'amot sadai, and all the animals of the field, goats and chickens and dogs and all of those. Sipor shamayim, all the birds, udigei hayam, and all the fish, overachot yamim, and everything that passes in the water. We don't even know what's in the water, right? All those different things in the water, the things that are like corals and that are plants and animals, all of those things Hashem gave people dominion over. And originally all human beings were supposed to have dominion over the entire world. In the end, because they rejected that responsibility, just like Asa rejected his responsibility, so it was given over to the Jewish people. We're in charge of everything. Hashem Adonenu, Ma Shimcha b'chol haaretz. Hashem, our God, how awesome, how powerful is your name in the entire world. So this concept, it's a very short Tehillim. It's a very paying attention to nature and to the greatness of the greatness of the world, the greatness of what Hashem created, and recognizing our power. And we don't recognize our power at all. We don't pay attention to our power. We just, we just go through life, and you make a bracha, you don't pay attention. Do you know that it says in Kabbalah that when you make a bracha, you release the spark of energy, the spark of holiness that's in that food, and when you make a bracha achrona, then you release it in your body. You release that power into your body. So we have a tremendous amount of power in our mouth. It says, the Gemara says, of course, that 10 levels of speech were given to the world, and women took 9. Women have 9 levels of speech. That means that we're supposed to use the power of our speech in a creative way, whether it's to talk to Hashem, whether it's to say Tehillim, whether it's to encourage people, whether it's to feed other people's mouths, right? So that's the power of the woman, is in the power of our mouth, is the power of the Jewish people is in the power of our mouth, but the power of Jewish women is in the power of our mouth. Okay, I'm going to stop this here now because I can't take it with this guy talking. So I'm going to beg your forgiveness. We're having a short share.
I just told Ginny to join. I told all the people I know to join.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a gremlin, whatever a gremlin is. Okay.
What's a gremlin? Maybe he stopped.
A spanner in works, like something, I don't know what.
But listen, but now it's quiet. So now
it stopped. He was on the phone, and now he just said goodbye. I heard him wrap it up.
Oh, I was thinking that that's what he was doing. I was thinking. I heard something that I thought in that language it sounded like goodbye. Wow. Okay, let's just hope he doesn't.
we've had 2 almost bye-byes, but now we're bye-bye. Go, please keep going.
Okay. Hi, Ginny.
Ginny's just joined. She's missed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
gosh.
Okay. We had a funny morning.
I've just told.
We had a funny morning.
Right.
The people on YouTube keep popping in, popping out, because I can see I don't know their names, but I can see the numbers that are on. They keep popping in, popping out. I think
right. We're good. We've got half an hour of good. Go on, 20 minutes.
Our class is just so holy that Hashem had to send like a distraction.
That's how it is.
I also, thank you, Marcel, for putting me on, for reminding me.
Well, we didn't get the memo because...
No, I didn't think there was one because...
No, well, Joanne's clearly... I think she's got a situation. She must have something.
Yeah, she must have, yes.
So anyway, right, none of us, let's hear the Rebbetzin and then...
Please.
It's so funny. Well, we finished the parak. We finished the parak of Tehillim. Okay, now, Pauline, you have to mute yourself before you go away. And Marcel, you have to mute yourself so we can...
I'm trying. Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Right. We'll have a...
You have to remind me, Marcel, after the class, you have to remind me to ask Joanne. She once sent me probably the code to make host, so I can be host and I can mute everybody. But I don't know where that code is. Anyway.
You know what? We've had so much entertainment. I mean, it's just a day here that it's just a good distraction for us English people who really, it's not our day. We're preparing for Shabbos, and we're preparing. You've given us the right entertainment for the day, because here it's their holiday and it's not our holiday, and we're just preparing for Shabbos. I'm trying to mute myself. Okay. I'll not say anything.
Okay. You can give the show. Yes, Naomi just joined.
Oh, I told her half an hour ago. God, 20 minutes. I'm going to mute myself if I can. Oh, bless. Everyone's coming. Okay. I don't know everybody's number. So, okay,
it's
right.
Okay. What you have to do is you have to get Joanne to give you the group.
Well, I'm on the phone now because it's switched off. Right. You're 20 minutes. Go. Oh, I can't wait to come and see you. Right. Let's try my best.
Anyway, I'll tell you, I told you before that we're in for a winter storm. They're warning us of a winter storm, and it's so hard to believe them because now it's such a gorgeous day. But that's the same thing that happened last week. Last week we had a gorgeous day, and all of a sudden the sky got cloudy, and before you knew it, it was pouring. Okay, let me just review a little bit of Perek Chet, because in my head it was like it was very hard for me to concentrate, because I'm not sure if you heard it as strongly as I heard it, but I heard his voice like louder.
We did.
Louder than mine.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. It sounded like a radio, but it wasn't. It was coming. Okay. Right. Yeah. All good.
Okay. Anyway, let me tell you about kavod a little bit, because here in the pasuk we talk about kavod. Kavod is called honor. Honor. So Rabbi Nachman talks about this. He says, at the end of time, which we're clearly at the end of time, there's going to be the strongest gates of haras, the strongest challenges are going to be with money, with bein adam, between men and women, and honor, desire for power, and so, as I said before, and I'll say it again, in Chassidus we're taught that in Tehillim, when David HaMelech says in Tehillim, Ura Kevodi, wake up, my kavod. He's talking to his kavod. So what does that mean, Ura Kevodi, wake up, my kavod, wake up, my honor? Like, what does that mean? So the commentaries there say that David HaMelech was trying to wake himself up, to inspire himself. And he said, Ura, wake up, Kevodi, because I have kavod. And what's the kavod that David HaMelech had? Isn't his personal honor, because you know that David HaMelech went through so much in his life. I don't know how he managed to stay so holy and so devoted to the Jewish people when he had so much opposition. And it was hard to know by him who to trust. But in his life, it was hard for him to know he couldn't trust his own kids, because his own kids rebelled against him. His own rabbi, 2 of his rabbis rebelled against him. And they all wanted power. They wanted power. They wanted control. They wanted to become king. They were judging him, and they were. So I don't know how. When I think about David HaMelech's life and what he went through, he had a few of the Nevi'im that were close to him, right? And used to rebuke him also. It wasn't like they were just his friends and they stamped everything that he did as okay. They were tough with him, the Nevi'im and the Kohanim. But he also had a whole segment of his life of people who were playing up to him and were making believe that they liked him and were making believe that they were good and holy. And really, they were judging him, and they were demeaning him and diminishing his power. And they were trying to uproot him from his kingship. So when David HaMelech tried to wake himself up and to encourage himself and to just keep going, he said, Ura Kivodi, wake up, my soul. Wake up, my soul. And the honor of a Jew is the soul, that's all. But my Rav, just last Shabbos, he said, everyone has to remember, like people get annoyed, you're sitting on my seat, I want to have that aliyah, of course, women, not for the women, but the men. I want the aliyah, I want this cover, I want this feeling of respect and honor. I want to be in the front, I want to sit in the front, I want to, walk the rabbi home. He was giving all kinds of examples. And he said he wants to remind us that nobody in this planet deserves honor. Only Hashem. All honor is to be given back to God, not to people. And so the opposite is true. Everyone has to be the most humble. And again, to encourage yourself with the idea that the only reason that I could ever rejoice, and Rabbi Nachman talks about this, and it's a meditation that you have to choose to do it. I can't do it for you. I have to do it for me. Everybody has to do this meditation on their own, and that is to say, to rejoice in the bracha of Shalom Sanigoy, and to rejoice in the bracha in the concept that we have a Jewish neshama, and that our neshama is guaranteed a place in Olam Haba. We have a guarantee of eternity. Of course, we want to have a good place in Olam Haba. We want to have a nice palace, so to speak, in Olam Haba. But because the essence of our soul is of God, it can never be destroyed. And that's an amazing experience. It's an amazing thought. Because we're in Olam Hazeh, we're in this world, we can't imagine what, and we're bound by time. We can't imagine what it is to be existing above time, out of time, forever and ever. But our rabbis promise us that is the greatest creation that Hashem could create, is a soul that will exist forever, just like Hashem exists forever. Now, we're not Hashem, and everybody knows that. We can laugh. You laugh when you think about, how some people are so arrogant and they're so proud. They're so full of pride. Guess what? That's saying, if you ever want to, let's say there's somebody, I'm going to tell you a very, unusual for me kind of a meditation. But if ever someone's intimidating you and you feel less than, you feel that they're superior to you, I'm not talking about a tzaddik. A tzaddik, nobody feels jealous of a tzaddik because we want to be like that tzaddik. So we admire a tzaddik and we love a tzaddik and we want to imitate a tzaddik. We want to be close to a tzaddik. And we want to be close to a tzaddik. Why? Because a tzaddik helps us to feel close to Hashem. Being close to a tzaddik, let's say my tzaddik, the Rav Shlomi Huzaveri, his downstairs neighbor because he doesn't have a next door neighbor. They have a downstairs neighbor. The downstairs neighbor is close to him, right? He lives in close proximity to him, but he's not close to him. And if he, he's you're being close to a tzaddik and wanting to be close to a tzaddik is about, because the tzaddik will bring you close to Hashem, and because you feel holiness, you feel kedusha coming out of that tzaddik, and you like that feeling because the soul likes to feel, and the soul likes holiness. The root of the soul is holiness. That's why it's pleasant to us. And so, but a tzaddik, which is, by the way, a completely different creature. It's not like right? A tzaddik, the cover that a tzaddik gives to God, the honor, the glory that a tzaddik gives to God, that's all he lives for, is to give honor to Hashem. And not to take honor for himself in any way, not even to want honor. But whenever you feel intimidated by somebody, because they're trying to grab honor, they want you to honor them and respect them and all of that. So just remember that person also has to go to the bathroom every once in a while. And that's what that's how Paro, he realized that people would think, listen, he's human, he has human needs, and he has human refuse that has to come out of his body. So that's why Paro never let anyone see him going to the bathroom. And he would make believe he doesn't ever need to go to the bathroom. He made believe that his body was divine. But he knew that he had to go to the bathroom. And he used to go every morning. He would go to the Yor, he would go to the Nile River, and he would supposedly bathe in the Nile River. And that's when he would relieve himself. And so, but that's how he tried to make people think that he was superior. And I'm telling you that if anybody else is trying to make them feel superior to you, just remember, they get a stomachache, they got to go to the bathroom just like you. They have to come out and wash their hands because their hands are tummy just like you. And so all human beings nobody is above anyone else. Except, again, tzaddikim are to be admired. People who do mitzvah, people who balei chesed, they're to be admired. They're to be copied. They're to be emulated, but not to be intimidated by them. Really holy people don't want you to be intimidated by them. They want you to think of them as a regular person, just that they try hard. They're serious about their serving God. They're serious about it. They once asked the Rav, how does he do so many miracles? And he says, I just believe completely in Hashem. I just totally believe. And I believe in the power of my prayer. We don't. And also, listen, he's also a tzaddik. He gives up everything for the Jewish people. But we have to believe. So our kavod has to come from the fact that we have a Jewish soul. That has to make us feel happy. It also has to make us feel responsible to fix this world. Because if it's true, as I said before, that bishvili nivra ha'olam, that the world was created for me, if that was true, then I have an obligation. If you make supper for somebody, you make dinner for somebody, right? And you bring it to them, and you bring it to their house, and whether you invite them to your house, and you sit them down, and you make them a beautiful dinner. So I wouldn't say it's a responsibility, but I would say that the correct response to that would be that they should eat what you prepared for them, because you prepared it for them. So Hashem prepared our soul, and He gave us this world, and each one of us has a portion in this world that we need to rectify. And because all of this is hidden, because the word olam means ne'elam, it means hidden. All the things I'm telling you, we don't see. You don't see your sphere of influence. You don't see when you make a bracha what it accomplishes. You don't see when you daven how Hashem is listening and applauding you and saying every word is delicious and precious. We don't see that. And so that's called emunas chachamim. That's called believing in Hashem, believing in the students, in the teachings of the rabbis. I always laugh and I always say that that all the Reform and Conservative and Reconstructionist Jews, that they say they don't believe in Rabbinic Judaism, But they make Rosh Hashanah the same day we all make Rosh Hashanah. That's based on the rabbinical calendar. And they make Pesach the same day we make Pesach. It's based on the rabbinical calendar. So they do things at their convenience, but they're also doing things that are Torah Shabbat Peh, rabbinical. Okay, sweetie pies, now we can go. Let's see. It's so funny. Somebody just texted me. They said that they were on the YouTube channel.
The Rebbitzins muted us now? Rebbitzin, we can't hear.
Sorry, thanks.
Okay.
Somebody just texted me that they were listening on YouTube, and they say that I need a techie guy. I don't need a techie. I just need the number of the YouTube, the Zoom ID numbers that I can claim host and keep everybody quiet. But thank you so much for caring. And it's good to hear that you were on, Ellen. Thank you. It's nice to hear that you were on this year. So if you're in Eretz Yisrael, everybody who's in Eretz Yisrael has to get ready for a rainy weekend, a rainy Shabbos. They keep changing their mind when the rain's going to start, but I wouldn't mind if it got pushed off till Sunday. I don't like rainy Shabbos when I have to go away. And also then everybody has to walk to shul and you can't carry an umbrella. So I wouldn't mind if Hashem would make the rain start, I don't know, Sunday. I mean, I hate to say that because then people have to go to work on Sunday morning. So Hashem can make the rain in the middle of the night also. That's the nicest when everyone's home, except for the people who are in Kollel at night. There's a Kollel Chatzot, a midnight Kollel. But they can carry umbrellas then if it's after Shabbos. So here, get ready for winter again. And in the UK, get ready to come to Eretz Yisrael. And in Australia and in South Africa, get ready to come here back to Eretz Yisrael. And have a good Shabbos. We had such a good shir yesterday from the Parsha. If you could look at it, it's on this YouTube channel. Such a great idea about how the idea of Teshuvah and how Yehuda did Teshuvah, and that's the nature of the real Mashiach ben David, is someone who's a Baal Teshuvah. I don't mean a Baal Teshuvah like a hippie who became, religious. I mean a person who truly does Teshuvah. And he acknowledged that Yosef HaTzadik was a tzaddik, and he acknowledged that he was wrong. Twice in his life, Yehuda acknowledged that he was wrong, and they were very, very big public acknowledgments, and it was very embarrassing. The first time was with Tamar. That's super embarrassing. And the second was now in this week's Parsha, when Yehuda recognizes that he shouldn't have sold Yosef, and that Yosef was indeed a tzaddik, and that he himself was not. That's what makes a king. A king, Chazal tells us, and Reb Tzadok talks about this a lot, that there's a difference between Mashiach ben Yosef and Mashiach ben David. Mashiach ben Yosef is a perfect tzaddik. Mashiach ben David is a person who made mistakes and who overcame them and who does teshuvah again and again and again. It's a whole different nature of a person. That's why they say that when we see who's Mashiach ben David, maybe we're going to be a little bit surprised, because we're going to say him, but it could be that Mashiach ben David is somebody who, well, Yehuda wasn't a Russia, and he certainly wasn't evil, and he wasn't an Erev, but he admitted twice that he made errors in judgment, and that is very hard, to do that. That whenever anybody does something wrong and they're going to get fired for their job, let's say somebody in the media says something anti-Semitic, and there's a protest and they're going to get fired. So what do? They issue an apology. They text an apology, right? What's the big deal? To text an apology, I so much regret what I said. It was so inappropriate, and I'm so sorry for the people that I hurt. That's what they text. And then it appears in all the media. So they texted something. What's the big deal to text something? A real apology is in front of people, the same people that you damaged, that you hurt. And that's a hard thing to do. And that's what Yehuda did twice. Okay, sweetie pies, now you can have a good Shabbos. Thank you for the shir.
Thank you.
Sharon. And now
this will go down in history. But you honestly, it was all us in the UK. I'm speaking on behalf of